Welcome to this month's webinar. Today we're going to tackle the benefits of working with an agency. My name is Joyce. I'm a case manager here at Fairfax Surrogacy, experienced surrogate and mother of 3. And today I'm joined by Rhonda. Rhonda, can you introduce yourself a little bit to everybody?
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Rhonda Blair, and I am a case manager here at Fairfax myself. I'm a former surrogate myself and a mother of 4.
Awesome. It's good to have you here today. Like I said, we're going to tackle the benefits of working with an agency. We'll take about 30 minutes to answer some questions and share a little bit of the most frequently asked questions that we get as case managers and experienced surrogates ourselves. So the first question obviously is going to be, what is a surrogacy agency? What do we do? Why are we involved? Why are we here? And I think before we tackle that question, it's important to recognize that the amount of knowledge that goes into coordinating a surrogacy journey, there's so much involved. There's multiple parties, there's multiple people involved in the journey, and it takes a lot of readiness, it takes a lot of commitment. And so we do this not just ourselves as case managers, but it takes an entire team of professionals. My first journey was independent, so I have that experience from working as an independent surrogate, coming over to work for an agency. And also my second journey was through an agency. So there's huge differences and huge benefits, and we'll tackle some of them. So Rhonda, what would be some of the things that we do here as an agency? What is our role?
So that's a great question, Joyce. So one of the big things that we do is we have a surrogate pre-screening process. It's pretty in-depth to make sure that those surrogates are acceptable to move on to the next stage. That includes a mental health evaluation, physical evaluation, and medical evaluations as well.
Awesome. All of those things are crucial when it comes to the next step of our process, and that's matching. So we are going to work with those vetted surrogates, and we're going to work with our intended parents who've also gone through their own form of screening. And we're going to take those 2 sets of families and we're going to match them based on their criteria, their morals, their lifestyles, to hopefully find that missing puzzle piece for both the surrogate and the intended parent.
And then,
Yeah.
sorry.
Go
Then
ahead.
on top of that, we work with different insurance companies as well to confirm that the surrogate's insurance is surrogacy friendly. If it's not, we take that the next level and we obtain a surrogacy friendly medical insurance policy for her. That way, you know that there's coverage for her prenatal appointments and the delivery as well.
Absolutely. And insurance is its own world. We both know that as case managers. Managing, the specific state and their requirements for health insurance, not all policies are surrogacy friendly. So that's its own thing to look into. In addition to finding a health insurance policy or making sure that policy that surrogate has is friendly, we're going to work on everything associated with her travel. So we're going to look at her medical screening, where she needs to be, make sure that she's got her flight, her hotel reservations, get her comfortable. Then we're going to do the same thing for the embryo transfer. Most clinics will ask that that surrogate bring a companion. So we're going to work to make sure that person goes with her and make sure that they are happy and ready for this process without having to stress about where do we fly, how do we do this, what are we thinking, because that's stressful in itself.
Absolutely. And we take that not only off of the surrogate's hands, but off the intended parents' hands too. Because if you weren't working with an agency, the intended parents would be the ones having to book those flights and that travel for the surrogate. So we do all of that for you. We also work with the surrogate to verify that all of her expenses for her travel have been covered. We manage her medical bills. We manage her appointment for her monitoring bills. We confirm that she's been reimbursed for everything and the payments that she is scheduled to receive for her compensation are getting to her the way they're supposed to. So there's a lot of financial items that we manage as well.
Absolutely. In addition, kind of like what I was saying earlier, this is not just a one woman show, one man show. We are going to connect with trusted professionals in this industry. That's everything from the attorneys to the clinics to escrow, making sure that everyone is fully connected to those professionals, to the expertise in the field. And we may have many, many answers, but we always don't have all of them. So we will reach out to those professionals and pull them back into the journey when we need them.
Absolutely. And they are huge resources, not only for the intended parents and the surrogates, but for the agency as well. We provide that information to you so that you've got those connections. So Joyce, another big question that parents and surrogates are asking about using an agency is, how does professional screening improve the safety and success of our surrogacy process?
Absolutely. We want to be sure that the candidates that we are showing have gone through the steps needed to get them ready for an embryo transfer, to get them ready for a surrogacy journey. There are many steps involved, but it's crucial. It's important. We all, as former surrogates, have been through the same steps. Those steps include background checks, mental health evaluations, preliminary medical screenings, such as an OB clearance letter. These are important steps, not only for the surrogate, because we want that surrogate to be sure of herself, to be sure that she really wants to move forward with this, but it's also a safety net for our intended parents. They know that these candidates coming through the door have been approved. They have gone through the background checks, they have gone through the mental health screenings, and they have a clean bill of health to move forward. We It's increasing the chances of a successful journey. When you work with an agency, all of these steps are taken. When you don't work with an agency, you kind of are risking all of those things not being done, or even worse, getting that surrogate all the way to her medical screening and finding out later that she's not able to move forward because something was missed. Good
Absolutely.
question.
Those are great concerns. And just so our surrogates who are watching understand as well, we do mental health evaluations and background checks for the intended parents as well. So we do the vetting process for our surrogates and our intended parents as well.
Yep, both ways. We want to be sure that both parties are ready for this. And not only do we do this prior to the matching, but even after our matching process, we reintroduce those mental health professionals to tackle some questions that we may not have tackled in the match call, or that you need a little bit more clarification on. So, okay, I have a question for you. Why is the ongoing support that we provide so important during the surrogacy journey?
Ooh, that's a really good one. So the surrogacy journey can be both emotionally and physically demanding. So having a support person who's been through that process before is so important because they know what you've been going through, what you're feeling. They can manage your expectations, provide you that emotional support, navigate any challenges that might come up. I myself have been through many different bumps in the road on my surrogacy journeys. So I'm able to take some of my experience and share it with the surrogates, share it with the intended parents, and talk about how even though we hit those bumps in the road, we did end up with a successful pregnancy, a successful delivery that ended with the parents holding their baby or their babies in their arms. So being able to provide the support, the knowledge, the education is so important because it also makes that surrogate and the intended parents comfortable with those next steps. It makes them understand what is needed, what's required. It provides them that comfortable feeling to know that it's not just them in this journey. It's, we're in that journey with them. The professionals are in that journey with them. And there's so much support that we provide for all of our clients.
Absolutely. That you hit it right on the head. It's almost a perspective situation. When you are first starting out in your journey, there are a billion questions that you have. There are a million what ifs, and to have someone who's not only been through this as a surrogate or an intended parent, but someone who has kind of the hindsight to see the next steps ahead, to see what hurdles might come up. We're there. We're going to hit those hurdles, but we're going to navigate around them. And at the end of the day, the goal is the same. We want a beautiful family to welcome their child into this world. We want that surrogate to feel supported as she tackles one of the biggest things that she's ever done in her life. That's where we come in. That's, for case managers, it's an honor because we remember that day. We remember when we met our parents for the first time. We remember when we heard that heartbeat for the first time. And it's a moment that we don't take for granted as case managers, and it motivates us to get to that finish line per se.
Absolutely. And having that extra layer of support also is your buffer between the surrogate and the intended parents. If the communication is not what you're looking for, you want more communication or it's too much communication, you've got the agency here to be that buffer for you. I, like you, Joyce, I did an independent journey as well. It was a sibling journey, which I did with an agency, but then I did an independent one, and I was a case manager at the time. But there's still things that you need to buffer, talking about communication. You know, in there, I had to communicate with them about my finances and talking all those specifics that are really uncomfortable conversations to have. But with the agency, you don't have to worry about those conversations. Those conversations are completed between you and the agency, and your financials are already set up. Everything's put together with the agency. You're not having to have those difficult conversations, or parents don't have to ask the surrogate, are you taking your prenatal vitamins? Are you sure you're doing your shots? And the surrogates don't have to answer the parent saying, I'm eating McDonald's, but I know I shouldn't be. So it's being things like that you've got the agency to provide those answers and to get the questions answered without ruining the relationship that you have with your surrogate and intended parents. So that's huge.
Absolutely. It's a trust factor that's organically built. And sometimes those uncomfortable conversations happen, and that's just part of life. You are working with strangers in the beginning. Hopefully after, getting to know each other a little bit and going through such an empowering moment, you become much more than just acquaintances or whatever you may see that as. But having a third party, having your case manager, having your agency to fall back on, but also to guide you is the foundation of what an agency should be. We are just here as an extension of your journey. We are here to support you, here to help you navigate those difficult conversations, but more so help you focus on building a positive relationship to welcome this sweet baby into the world. So glad we feel the same on that.
Yes, absolutely. So another big question that we have is, what kind of support services do surrogacy agencies typically offer?
Absolutely. We here at Fairfax Surrogacy offer a support group for our gestational surrogates wherever they are in their journey, whether they're just signing up with us or whether they're halfway through the journey. They're always welcome to come into our support group. We have a monthly support call that we do every month just to touch base, share some stories, ask advice, maybe vent a little bit, more so connect with others going through similar situations. We also have connections to mental health professionals if that's someone that you want to talk to, if there's something happening in your journey that goes past the case manager client relationship, we can involve a third party into that with no questions asked. You want to talk to someone that you trust, and that can be anyone in this industry. I think funny story for Rhonda and I, kind of offsetting this conversation, that's how we met. We met in a support group. Circa 2014.
So it's like you read my mind.
Yeah, I was like, that's exactly how we met. There are many surrogacy, gestational surrogacy support groups on Facebook. Most people know of them. There were even some pre-Facebook pages, like websites, I guess you would call them. But I went on those for my very first journey because I didn't have an agency. And I stayed in those groups even with my agency because having someone who was maybe transferring the same day or same week that I was, or having someone that lived relatively close to me, having someone that was going through something that I was going through made the experience so much better. We have something going on this month, and we're doing a secret Surro sister. I'm saying that right, Santa. Somewhere in there, there's the word
Secret
Santa.
sister gift exchange.
That one. Yeah, exchange. So, and again, you were my secret Surro sister way back in 2014. And the relationships that we've built through surrogacy are phenomenal. They are lifelong. I'm friends with so many of the women who were in my transfer month or whatever the case may be. And so that, that is a really big chunk of what we do. It's about community. We are grateful for our surrogates, and we're even more grateful of the relationships that they form with other surrogates within the community. So
Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more. Like, I was going to bring up our secret sister exchange from way back when as well. I have a similar story too. Is I found out through one of my support groups that the surrogate was transferring on the same day as I was at the same fertility center. So we started talking, and we ended up transferring one in front of the other. So
oh
we
my
met
gosh.
each other at the transfer at the fertility center, got to meet each other. And then we followed through. We were both pregnant at the same time. I ended up being her case manager, went to the hospital to see her at the same hospital I was delivering at. She delivered the day before me. And then
Oh,
come to find out later that her oldest daughter was in band with my oldest daughter. So it was like, oh my gosh, like the relationships you form, it's just unbelievable.
yeah,
Because we've got that same experience, and you're there to support everybody through the good, through the bad, through the happy. It really is an emotional journey. You've got those super happy moments, and the sad. So for instance, when you're delivering, you're super happy for the intended parents, and for the parents, because they're parents,
other parents.
but
Hmm.
you're a little sad because the journey's over, a little nervous about what's our relationship going to look like next. So having that support system through, our support groups, our support meetings, our case managers, our team gives you the knowledge that you aren't alone in this. Your feelings that you're feeling are normal. We've all had them. We've all been through them. Even as intended parents, the nerves that you have going into this, and same thing, like I'm going to meet my surrogate for the first time. That's what all the support systems are for.
Absolutely. It is a family that I never knew I needed. And I'm grateful every day for relationships that were formed years and years ago, and to watch the surrogate babies that they gave birth to grow up. I mean,
Hmm.
it's an extension that I didn't know I needed in my life. So I'm grateful that we have similar experiences, and I'm grateful that we were connected way back when in those support groups. So who would have thought,
Absolutely.
a decade later, here we are. So
Right?
yeah. Okay, so last question that we're going to tackle, unless any have come in. I haven't seen anything yet, so let
I
me know
haven't.
if you see anything. We want to talk a little bit about the managing bills, the reimbursements, the expenses. Those topics kind of fall in line with that support system again. The bills that you receive in your surrogacy journey, those are managed by escrow, but overseen by us as an agency. We're going to make sure things are reimbursed. We're going to make sure that those medical bills are covered. We're going to make sure that things are allocated appropriately. So that is one less thing for you to stress out about as an agency. Same thing on the intended parent side. Those funds are allocated appropriately. We follow the contract. We make sure that everything is where they need to be, and that all parties are comfortable with everything that's happening financially. That's hopefully something in the very back of your mind during your journey, because everything else is being taken care of. So that's something that we do. I think, again, having that third party as that financial buffer is super important, because as beautiful as the journey is, there are factors that can make it a little uncomfortable at times, and we want to do everything we can to intervene during those times and make everyone comfortable and well informed about what's happening during their journey. So, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, absolutely. And as anyone knows that have had conversations regarding money, that is such a difficult conversation to have, whether it's with your spouse, whether it's with your kids, but then to throw in someone that you don't really know yet, or you're just starting to form a relationship, that makes it even more difficult. So, just like you said, Joyce, we are the buffers there. We're the ones confirming that all those expenses, reimbursements, medical bills are getting paid per what the contract states. And the surrogate signs her compensation package at the very beginning. The parents purchase a fixed plan that covers all of these expenses.
Absolutely. Yep. And it gives everyone a chance to connect. After the financial aspects are taken care of, or it's redirected towards the agency, you and your intended parents or you and your surrogate can focus on getting to know each other, can focus on sharing those milestones through the journey and developing an organic relationship. And we take care of the rest. That's kind of the gist of it. We as an agency are going to take care of everything outside of you forming that relationship with your surrogate, because that's going to come from within. It's going to be beautiful and wonderful. And anything that we can do to build that and help that grow, we're always more than welcome to. So
Absolutely
yeah.
agree.
Yep. I think I don't see any questions coming in, so I think we're good to go ahead and wrap up. As always, if there's questions about family building, if you want to know more about Fairfax Surrogacy or anyone here at our agency, you can always reach out. Please visit our website, fairfaxsurrogacy.com, or email us at fairfaxsurrogacy.com. And of course, any questions, always feel free to reach them. If you missed us on this one, you can send us a question. We'll get it next time, or we'll answer it immediately if we can. Wishing everyone a happy holidays, and we will see you in 2024.
Agreed. Happy holidays, everybody. Have a great 2024.